Welcome to the Amazing Dinosaurs channel. Today we are checking out all of my Jurassic World Dominion dinosaur figures. Let's get started with this classic ginormous T-Rex figure. This Dominion T-Rex has a dark brown body with the black along the top. It's got the barcode scanner right on its back right there. And it's got a pretty thick neck and a pretty big head compared to a lot of the other T-Rex figures. It's got some evil yellow looking eyes. It's got a mouthful of teeth, plus the mouth actually has a throat, so you can actually fit some miniature dinosaurs in there. It doesn't have a stomach compartment, but as you can see, you could probably fit a few small dinosaurs in there. And the coolest feature of this figure is that it's got a button on its tail to activate the jaw, and you can move the tail to swing the torso around too. So it makes it look really lifelike. Next up, we've got a Megaraptor figure. This is one of my newest figures that I bought fairly recently. It's pretty awesome. It's got those huge claws in the front. It's got a red and a dark blue body. It's got some feathering detailing along its back and along its head, as well as some white detailing right along its face. It's got the barcode scanner right on its back. You can twist the tail. The tail also has some cool looking feathers, which is pretty unique. And you can adjust the arms and legs of this figure. Plus, there is a chomping action when you press down on its body. Got some sound effects too. That's pretty cool. This, I believe, is the Giganotosaurus figure. This dinosaur has a lighter underbelly, a dark green side, and the brown detailing along the top. It's got some cool ridges right along its head, as well as the super tall orange ridge right on the top of its head. And you can move the arms and legs of this figure, as well as swivel the tail around to control the neck. And with this figure, you can actually adjust the standing pose by moving its legs. See how it leans down when you adjust the legs? That's a pretty cool feature. Not that many other figures that I have work like that. And of course, it's got the button on its tail to activate the jaw. This wild looking dinosaur is the Ichthyovenator. This dinosaur has a dark green body along its underside and on its sides, and it's got the super bright green detailing right along its spine and on its tail too. This is a pretty unique tail. This dinosaur has a long snout with a bunch of teeth inside. And the best part is that this dinosaur has an action when you press down on its body. It does a chomping action. Here we've got a ginormous Allosaurus figure, but not only that, this is an extreme battle damage Allosaurus. I think it's the only one I have that is a battle damage edition. This Allosaurus is almost as big as most of the T-Rex figures I have, which is unusual for an Allosaurus figure, and it's pretty adjustable. You can swivel the tail all around, you can move the legs and the arms, and there's a button on its back to activate the jaw too. But the coolest part is the extreme battle damage on its side. You can hide it completely, and then you can spring it open. It's spring-loaded, and you can even lift up the ribs to check out the insides underneath. I think that's its stomach right there. It's pretty squishy. That is really cool. And you can close it up and hide it. This is the Atrociraptor figure from Jurassic World Dominion. It's got the dark red eyes and the brown striping, which is actually very similar to this super colossal Atrociraptor that I have back here. Look at that, they're pretty similar. On this little figure, its mouth is closed and you can't open it. But on this super colossal figure, it is a lot more adjustable. It has those same dark red eyes, the striping all along its body, and this super colossal figure has the stomach compartment, so you can actually feed this huge figure smaller dinosaurs. This is the Rampage figure in the dark blue edition. As you can see, most of its body is that dark blue-gray color. It's got some white detailing along its neck, on its arms, and on its chin. It's got some big old spines right along the top of its neck, and this figure actually has a chomping action when you press down on its body. I've noticed that they're doing this chomping action for a lot of the new Jurassic World Dominion figures. And I've actually got another Rampage figure with different coloring here. This one is dark brown along its body and undersides, and it's got the dark blue just along the top and along those spines right there. It's got the horn on the top of its head and that same chomping action when you press down on its body. Moving along, we've got the Sound Surge T-Rex figure. This figure is a lot smaller than most of the T-Rex figures I have, but you can swivel the tail around, you can move the legs, and the arm, and you can open and close the jaw manually. You'll see that the tongue and lower teeth are not colored though, which is kind of a bummer, but it still has a cool feature that when you press down on the button, you get some T-Rex sound effects. Speaking of T-Rexes, I've got this huge super colossal T-Rex figure from Jurassic World Dominion. This figure is ginormous. Check it out. It has similar coloring as the first T-Rex that we saw in this video, but it has some cool features as well. Since it's a super colossal T-Rex, it has the stomach compartment, so you can feed this dinosaur smaller dinosaurs down its throat all the way to the stomach. And that is pretty cool. Next up, we've got a Giganotosaurus figure. I believe this is the Strike and Roar figure. It comes with two awesome functions. The first swings its torso and its head around for that chomping action. And the second button on the bottom of its tail opens and closes the jaw for roaring. That's pretty cool. That's some pretty wild movement. Over here in the corner, you may have already noticed, I've got another Giganotosaurus figure. This one is the Super Colossal Edition, and it is huge, just like the other Super Colossal figures. It's got the dark green body with black detailing. It's got the huge jaw with some really pointy long teeth. And since it's a Super Colossal figure, it has the stomach compartment for feeding smaller dinosaurs. Next, I've even got some brand new figures that we're gonna open up on camera. This one was a bit damaged in shipping, as you can see. This is the Velociraptor Blue and Atrociraptor pack. Let's check it out. Here is the Atrociraptor Blue pack. You move its neck up and down, you can open and close its jaw, as well as move its arms and its legs. And here is the super bright orange and white Atrociraptor. And this Atrociraptor has the same movements as Velociraptor Blue. You can move the neck up and down, you can open and close the jaw, and move the arms and legs too. And it's got the barcode scanner right at the top of its back too. This is the Sound Surge Carnotaurus figure. It's pretty basic in design and not a ton of coloring. It's like almost completely red. It's got a little bit of white underneath its chin, and like the other Sound Surge figures, its tongue and its lower teeth are not colored, which is a bit of a bummer. But let's check out those sound effects that you can activate by pressing this button on its back. Here is the basic Pyroraptor figure. This figure is a dark red color with some black along its tail and its legs, as well as some black detailing right along its face too. And on this figure, you can only move its arms, its legs, and its tail a little bit. Speaking of Pyroraptor, I've got this ultimate uncaged Pyroraptor. Let's open it up and check it out. Here is the uncaged Pyroraptor, and this figure is huge. This Pyroraptor has sensors all over its face and on its chin, so you actually can do quite a bit with this figure. There's a training mode, there's a play mode, there's a wild mode. So let's check it out and see what kind of sound effects it comes with. Wow, that's pretty cool. I think it's in wild mode right now, because it's roaring a lot at me. All right, now its eyes turn blue. Let's see what happens when I touch those sensors. Wow, there's so much you can do with this thing. You can even train this Pyroraptor, which it's not obeying me right now, so it's obviously not trained right now, but that's pretty cool. I could spend a lot of time on this figure. You gotta check it out for yourself. Over here, we've got the Rowdy Roars Atrociraptor figure. This figure is also battery operated. Let's see what happens when you tap the top of its head. So it's got some sound effects, and it can open and close its jaw too. That's pretty neat. Over here, we've also got the Rowdy Roars Dilophosaurus figure. This one is also battery operated. So let's check that out. Let's see what sound effects this one can make too. That's pretty cool. Here is another Giganotosaurus figure. This is the Sound Surge edition. So it's a bit smaller than many of the other Giganotosaurus figures. And it's fairly adjustable. You can open and close the jaw, and move the arms, the legs, and the tail. And of course, it's got the sound effects too. This is the Extreme Damage Dimetrodon. It has a light green body and the super bright spine on its back. And it's got the battle damage right on its side that you can turn on and turn off with the click of a button. Here is a smaller Carnotaurus figure. This one is dark green and orange, and it is pretty adjustable. You can move the neck, you can open and close the jaw, and you can move all the limbs as well. We've got a couple small Atrociraptor figures in here. Here is the classic white with brown striping Atrociraptor. And over here, we've got a light tan Atrociraptor with brown striping that's in a crawling pose. That's pretty cool. Next up, we've got an extreme battle damage Velociraptor. This Velociraptor has a white underbelly and sides with the dark blue on top, and the extreme battle damage right on the side that you can turn on and off. And this final dinosaur is an extreme battle damage Coeluris. It has the dark green body with the red legs, tail, and head. And it's got the extreme battle damage just like the Velociraptor that you can turn on and off. Hello and welcome back to the Amazing Dinosaurs channel. Today we are checking out a bunch of dinosaurs that you can find in the new Jurassic World Dominion movie. And I've even got some brand new ones, including this huge Giganotosaurus. Let's go ahead and open this huge one up. All right, so here is the main body. I can't wait to get the legs and the tail on. All right, here is the gigantic Giganotosaurus. Let's check out that face and those teeth. Those are huge. Look at that. I think you can fit miniature dinos down its throat too. It's got the stomach compartment and these huge legs and that huge tail. This is a really cool dinosaur figure. All right, we still got a few more brand new dinosaurs in here. Let's start with the Owen and Velociraptor Beta pack. All right, here's Owen. Here's Velociraptor Beta. And here is a little fox. This is a cool little action figure pack to have. Next up is the Claire and Dilophosaurus pack. All right, here we go. Here's Claire. Say hi, Claire.
Come on!
And here is the mighty Dilophosaurus. Oh no, look out! All right, we've got a lot more huge dinosaurs in here. Let's keep going. Look at this huge one. This is a giant Apatosaurus. It's almost as big as the Giganotosaurus, too. Up next, we've got another Giganotosaurus. This is a smaller figure, but look at the detail to the teeth and all over its body. This is a super realistic model. And I love those green eyes too. That is so cool. Wow, check the coloring on this one out. This is a Spinosaurus. And look how dirty its teeth are too. That is gross. And right over here, we've got a T-Rex with a face cage. But wait, I think it can break out. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go! It broke free. The Tyrannosaurus Rex is loose. Up next, we've got a massive Indominus Rex with a jaw button and a slashing action with its claws. This is such a cool figure. Over here is an orange-brown Tyrannosaurus Rex. Check this one out. It is fully adjustable. You can adjust the neck and pose it. And of course, it's got the button at the top of its head to make it roar. And right over here, we've got another awesome Indominus Rex. This is one of the older Jurassic World ones, as you can see. And it's got this interesting rubberized neck so that when you pull the arm, it can roar. How cool is that? All right, let's see what's next. Right over here, we've got a Baryonyx with a super bright colored head. That is a super bright orange color. And this toy has the chomping action. Uh-oh, look out. We've got another Tyrannosaurus Rex. That is so cool. This is also one of the older Jurassic World figures right here. And it is super cool. All right, here is a pretty big Velociraptor. This is bigger than most of the other raptors that I have. And this is also from the older Jurassic World toy series. How cool is that? And right up top here, we've got a giant Stegosaurus. That is so cool. And it comes with some actions too. Check this out. Can move its head up and down. And there's another one that you can press and it swings its tail. Look at that, watch out. Those would be so dangerous in real life. Boy, here we go. Another Velociraptor. I think this one is blue. And this one is super adjustable. You can adjust basically every single limb of its body. That is super cool for putting it on a display. And right up top here, we've got a Triceratops. That is so cool. And it has a roaring action. Here we go, ready? So cool. Look out for those horns. And right over here, one of my favorite herbivores, the Ankylosaurus. I just love the design on this and just how armored it is and all those spikes on the side too. That is so cool. Here is one of the most terrifying of the new dinosaurs from Jurassic World. This is the Indoraptor. Just look how evil it looks with those red eyes. And look at that, we've got another Triceratops. This one has different coloring. It's brown with the blue specks on top. That is so cool. And you can wiggle its tail to move its head back and forth. All right, check this out. We've got tons more Velociraptors in here. Look at these, and there's still more. Look how big these figures are. Some of them come with battle damage buttons. Some of them are a light tan orange. Some of them are dark brown. These are so cool, and these display so well on the shelves. Here is another super amazing dinosaur. It's the Dilophosaurus. This is also an older Jurassic World toy, and check it out, it's got the battle damage button on its side too. That is so cool. And we've got a few more smaller Indominus Rexes too. Look at these. These are two different sizes, but they both have different types of battle damage. This one has the one that you can open and close, and this one is always on display for you to see. And they both have their chomping action too. Let's keep digging. Oh man, I'm seeing tons more Velociraptors in here. check these out. We've seen some like these before, but look at this one. This is a smaller velociraptor, and it's super brightly colored. And with this velociraptor, if you press down on the legs, it'll actually spring away, like this. That's pretty neat. And there's still tons more velociraptors in here. Check this one out. It's wearing some sort of video camera or something. I don't know what that is. And we've got these smaller ones too. Oh, look at this. There's 2 Velociraptor blues. One of them has battle damage. And also this super brightly colored Velociraptor. Look at those green stripes on the top and the red body. That is so awesome. And we've seen this one before. This is the mighty Spinosaurus. That is so cool. All right, here are a few baby Dilophosauruses. Or at least they look like babies, but they still look super ferocious, don't you think? All right, we've got a few more dinosaurs in here. Oh, check these out. These are pteranodons. And look how huge their wingspan is. And look at the difference in coloring too. Isn't that so awesome? Over here, we've got 2 Pachycephalosauruses. Check out their super hard heads that they use for headbutting. This figure has a battle damage on the side, and this figure has an action. Wow, look at that headbutting action. That is so fast. Ooh, we've got one more huge winged dinosaur in here. I can't remember what dinosaur this is. Do you know what dinosaur this is? Let me know in the comments below. But this is a huge dinosaur. And now our last 2 dinosaurs of the bin. Here is another green Velociraptor. And this dinosaur is a Stygimoloch. It's got an action feature as well. This dinosaur likes to headbutt too, I think. Welcome back. Today we're checking out my collection of Jurassic World Dominion figures, including these brand new ones that I'm gonna open up in this video. First up is the Roar Strikers Iguanodon. So here is the unboxed Iguanodon. I think this might be the first Iguanodon in my collection actually. It's got a light tan body with the dark brown on top and the tan striping. It's got the barcode scanner right along the top. And you can move its front legs around and its back legs. Plus, there is an action button that when you press down on the body, it roars and dips its head down too. Next up, we've got the Mega Raptor from the Roar Strikers series. As you already know, the Mega Raptor is related to the Velociraptor, but it's got some differences. This figure has feathers all over its body. You can see some on its arms, on the top of its back, on the top of its head, and at the end of the tail as well. This figure is bright red in the back and a dark blue-gray in the front. Plus, it has some detailing on the face as well. And this figure comes with an action that when you press down on the body, it chomps and roars. Next up, we've got a dual pack. This is the Sound Surge, Tyrannosaurus Rex, and Giganotosaurus set. All right, here they are. Let's check out the Giganotosaurus first. This Giganotosaurus has the typical dark green and black coloring, typical for the Jurassic World figures. And it's pretty adjustable. You can move the tail, you can move the arms and the legs. So it is pretty adjustable. I will note that the mouth is actually not colored at all. So it is just green, just like the rest of the body. But the coolest feature of these figures are the roaring sound effects. Let's check that out. That is pretty cool. I bet that roar is from the movie. Now let's check out the Tyrannosaurus Rex. This figure has the tan brown coloring with the black detailing that we see in many of the T-Rex figures. You can open and close the mouth, but as you notice, the mouth is not colored differently than the rest of the face. And you can move the arms and the legs and the tail just like the Giganotosaurus. So now let's check out the T-Rex sound effects that this comes with. I really like how this comes in a 2-pack too, and they're both the same size, smaller than most of the T-Rex figures, but still a good size. Next up, we've got a super colossal Atrociraptor. This figure has the light gray body with the brown and lighter brown detailing on its back and sides. It's got some huge claws on its hand, just like the super colossal Velociraptor figures. And on its face, it has a full set of teeth all the way around. It's got those orange eyes. And just like all the other super colossal figures, you can feed it miniature dinosaurs and empty it out in its stomach. Next up of these super colossal figures is the T-Rex. This figure is dark brown on the sides, black on the top, and has the light underbelly like many dinosaurs. It is fully adjustable like the other super colossal figures. It's got the yellow eyes and a huge set of teeth. And of course, this super colossal T-Rex can eat miniature dinosaurs as well that you can empty out in the stomach compartment. And finally, of the super colossal figures is the Giganotosaurus. Just like we saw in the smaller Giganotosaurus, it has the dark green sides. However, this one has more detailing along the top. I think it has some bigger spines and it has a light underbelly too. You can move the wrists, you can move the arms, the legs, the tail, and of course you can open up the Giganotosaurus's mouth really wide to eat those miniature dinosaurs too. And this figure actually has some bright golden eyes, which I think is really cool. Next up, we've got the Hammond Collection Tyrannosaurus Rex. This figure is the most adjustable Tyrannosaurus Rex that I have. You can twist the torso around, you can move all the joints in its arms, in its legs. It actually has 2 joints in its tail as well, which is pretty cool. And it has tons of detail on its face too. It's got some super realistic details in its mouth, like the tongue and the flap on the side. It's got these dark yellow teeth, and it's got those marble yellow eyes too. Here, we've got the Thrash and Devour T-Rex. This T-Rex, just like the super colossal figure, is dark brown on the sides. It has the black on the top and the light underbelly too. I will note that this figure's head is proportionally larger than the rest of its body compared to the other T-Rex figures that I have, which is an interesting detail. And it has the tail that controls the head and a button for roaring too. This is the Ocean Protector Mosasaurus. Unlike the older Mosasaurus figure, this has a dark blue body with white speckles all over its top. It's got the light blue eyes, the huge jaw, and you can adjust the fins and actually move the tail in this one. Next up is the sound-slashing Thrizinosaurus. This dinosaur was one of the stars of the new Jurassic World Dominion movie. And this figure is actually pretty controllable too. You can use the tail to swing the head around and the torso, and there's a button on the tail for the chomping as well. And you know, I think this might be my favorite dinosaur from the new Jurassic World movie. Comment down below what your favorite dinosaur was from the new Jurassic World Dominion movie. This is the Roar Striker's Ankylosaurus. It has the clay red bottom and the brown and tan top. This figure is pretty adjustable as well. You can twist its head around, you can move its legs, and it has an action button that when you press down on the body, it swings its tail around. This big figure is the Giganotosaurus. It has a soft green colored body with the lighter underbelly and the brown detailing along the top, plus this orange detail right on the top of its head. You can move the arms on this figure and the legs, and the tail actually controls the torso and the head, so you can move it and make it look really lifelike. This is the Rowdy Roars Atrociraptor, and this figure has two features. First is when you press this button on the top, you get some sound effects, and the second is when you touch its chin, it'll actually walk around. Next up, we have a mysterious dino cage, but what could be inside of it? Let's see. All right, it's an Atrociraptor, and you can actually control it from the back too. This figure is a light gray color with the brown detailing over its body and is pretty adjustable too. You can move all the different limbs, you can open and close the jaw, and even twist the neck around. Next up is the Rampage with the brown coloring on its side and bottom, and it's got the gray-blue coloring right along the top of its back, as well as that single horn right on the top of its head. Plus, this figure comes with an action that when you press down on its body, it chomps and roars. This next one is the massive action Ankylosaurus. Just like the Carnotaurus, it has the clay red body with the brown detailing along the top, and it's got this super long neck that you can actually control by moving the tail around. Here we've got the Rowdy Roars Dilophosaurus. It's got the iconic frills on the sides and the top, and just like the other Rowdy Roars figure that I have, it has two action buttons. First is when you press the button on top of its head, and the second is when you touch its chin. It can walk around. Next up is the Hammond Collection Baryonyx. This figure is super adjustable in all its limbs. It has some pretty cool coloring, pretty similar to the other Baryonyx figures, especially with that blue detailing right underneath its eye. So this figure is super easy to pose on the shelf. I really like that. This is the Pachycephalosaurus, actually from the Legacy Collection. It's got the gray body with a little bit of brown detailing on the bottom and a bunch of blue along the top. It's got the DNA barcode scanner right along its shoulder, and you can use the tail for the headbutting action. This is the Carnotaurus from the Jurassic World Dominion movie. It's got the green body with the orange detailing along the top, and it's pretty adjustable too. You can move its neck, open its jaw, you can move its legs and arms, and even twist the tail too. Here is the huge winged dinosaur that I'm sure you recognize from the new Jurassic World Dominion movie. This is the Quetzalcoatlus. It's got the soft blue-gray coloring along its body, it's got the brown wings, and it's got some bright coloring right along its head. It's got some orange and some bright blue too. Looks like we've got some battle damage figures from the Jurassic World Dominion collection. This first one is the Velociraptor with extreme battle damage, right there on the side. You can press it to turn it on and off. I've also got actually two of the extreme battle damage Coeluruses. These figures are pretty adjustable as well. You can put them in all sorts of poses and even open and close their jaws. And I've got the Dimetrodon with extreme battle damage right on its side. Next up, I've got the Moros Intrepidus from the Ferocious pack. This figure has a soft green color along most of its body. It's got the orange along its tail and a little bit of detailing along its back, and some detailing right along its eyes too. This is the Ferocious Pack Miragaia. This figure has a darker color scheme with the dark gray-blue color in the back and the black in the front with some brighter detailing right along its face. And the most iconic part are these two huge horns right next to its shoulders. This is the Cosmoceratops from the Legacy Collection. It has a dark green color along most of its body with a bit brighter green along the top. It's got some cool detailing along its face, and it has an action button for roaring. This is a Dilophosaurus. Now you can't open and close its jaws, but it's got the bright frills right in the front as usual, and a green body on the bottom and black on the top. Here we've got another Atrociraptor. This one is in a sneaking or stalking pose. It's got the light tan body with a bit of dark brown detailing along it. And you can even open and close the jaw on this one. This is the Zungaripterus. This is a flying dinosaur, and it's got the bright yellow wings and belly and brown top and face as well. And it's got some bright blue and red detailing right along its face. And finally, we've got a little Velociraptor Beta. This figure looks a lot like Blue. It's got the same distinctive coloring, but this is actually a younger Velociraptor, just like in the movie. Welcome back to the Amazing Dinosaurs channel. Today we are checking out a bunch of dinosaurs from the new Jurassic World Dominion movie. And I've even got some brand new dinosaurs to unbox. Let's start with the biggest one, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, Thrash and Devour. All right. Here is the new Jurassic World Dominion Tyrannosaurus Rex. And it does have some action buttons as well. You can see on the tail right here. What does that do? All right. That activates the jaw. I do see something right here. That is the barcode that you scan with the Camp Cretaceous app to find out more about the Tyrannosaurus Rex. That is super cool. The old ones have the sticker on the bottom of their feet, but now they're doing this little DNA barcode. That's really cool. And of course, you can move the tail and it moves its head as well. Check that out. And look at that. I bet you can fit some tiny dinosaurs in its mouth. It's got enough room in there to fit a few to swallow. All right, I've got 2 more brand new toys to unbox still. Which one to open first? Let's go with this one. This is the Scorpio Venator. That is crazy. I haven't seen a dinosaur that looks like this before. Let's open it up. All right, here is the Scorpio Venator. Let's go ahead and put that tail on, and it just clicks in like that. And there we go. Wow, look at the face on this dinosaur. Kind of reminds me of a Carnotaurus in a way. But I love the coloring on this one. It's like that mustard yellow, and it's got that gray top. And look at all those horns on top as well. Oh, and he comes with sound effects too. Let's see what else he can do. So his head moves up and down with chomping, and he's got that DNA barcode to scan on as well. And look at those tiny little arms. So this is a massive chomping dinosaur. Look at this chomping action. And look at all those teeth too. This is a huge jaw. And you've got those yellow glowing eyes. This is a pretty cool dinosaur. I am super excited to add this to my collection. All right, our next brand new dinosaur. It is a good old Triceratops from the Jurassic World Dominion series. Let's open it up. All right, let's put that tail on. Clicks right in, nice and easy. All right, here is our Roar Strikers Triceratops. Oh, that's really cool. Look at how its head moves, as if it's like stabbing another dinosaur or something. It's mostly green, so it'll camouflage into the jungle really well. And then it's got those, it's like brown, red stripes on the top. It's a really cool detail. Look at the size of those horns too. Super awesome. All right, now on for the rest of the Dominion dinosaurs. This is an Indominus Rex. And it's custom colored too. You won't see these colors in the movie, but it's still an awesome Indominus Rex. Look at those orange stripes all along its body. It's got the purple and the blue. This one is so cool. It's one of the most colorful dinosaurs that I have. And look at that. You could probably fit some mini dinosaurs in this dinosaur's mouth too. I think there's enough space in there. That is really cool. And it has a claw slashing action as well. Better watch out for the Indominus Rex. And right in the front up here, we've got the almighty Giganotosaurus. This is even bigger than a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And I believe it actually runs even faster than a T-Rex too. Do you think that a T-Rex would stand a chance against one of these? Let me know in the comments below. All right, we've got a lot more big dinosaurs in here. This is the Spinosaurus. And this is a classic coloring, I think, because it's got the green on the sides that blend into the jungle, and then the red striping on the top. This dinosaur is gigantic, and they actually swim in the water too. These dinosaurs were known to go fishing in the water. How cool is that? All right, we've got a lot more T-Rexes in here. Here is one that's really posable. You can twist its neck around, and of course you've got the tiny little arms, movable legs, the tail is fully adjustable as well. Detail in its mouth as well. It's got that tongue and all those teeth. Over here we've got another massive Tyrannosaurus Rex. Check this out. Wow, look at that tearing action. That would tear the meat off any dinosaur. And the second action is with its tail. Press this button right here and it'll swing its tail and hit any dinosaur that's trying to attack it. That is super awesome. Uh-oh, you better watch out. Here is another Indominus Rex. This one, unlike the one that we saw earlier, has more traditional coloring. So it's the gray all along its body. And look at those teeth too. Those things are so huge. And of course it's got the spikes along its back. And it's got that slashing action. You better watch out. Check out this T-Rex over here. This T-Rex has battle damage. You can see it's hidden on its side right there. But when you press this button up top, watch, ready? 3, 2, 1. Battle damage on both sides. That is super cool. And this T-Rex has a mouth that will stay open even without pressing a button. So you can pose it with its mouth open on your shelf like that. That is super cool. Oh, look at this one back here. Another gigantic Spinosaurus. And this one has way cooler coloring. Look at all the different colors on its body. And of course, the green eyes. That's the most brightest part of this dinosaur. Those are some filthy teeth. This dinosaur needs to brush his teeth. Let's keep going. This is another T-Rex. This one also has a button on the head that you can press to open its jaw. That is really cool. And of course you've got the movable legs, the arms, the neck, and the tail. All right, another T-Rex. This one's a bit different though. It's got a button right here that's kind of hidden. Let's see what happens when you press it. Wow, that's pretty cool. I don't think I have another T-Rex that's animatronic that moves its neck like that. That is super cool. And you'll see that it's got these wheels on its feet. so you can actually roll it around. This is a lot different than the other T-Rexes that I have, but it's still an awesome addition to my collection. Look out! I see a ferocious dinosaur in here. It's the Scorpius Rex. Look at all those teeth. You've got an action button for slashing. And like you may already know with the Scorpius Rex, the quills on its tail are actually poisonous, so you better watch out for those when he's attacking you. And you can actually swing the tail back and forth. Let's keep digging. All right, right here we've got a Carnotaurus. Look at those little horns on its head. Look at that battle damage on its side right there. That is so cool. And on the tail, you can move its neck and head. So it looks really lifelike. Better watch out. Here comes the Carnotaurus. Ooh, here's a dangerous dinosaur. This is the Dilophosaurus. You better watch out when it sticks out its frills. That might mean he's gonna attack. Oh, look at this one right at the top here. This is a T-Rex with extreme battle damage. Look at this. You can like take it almost all the way apart and reveal the inside. That is so cool. Over here, this is a Cryolophosaurus. Look at that head. That is a super cool head. Super decorative and kind of intimidating at the same time. And you can use its tail to control its head. All right, here we've got a Baryonyx with battle damage. Look at that, right on its neck you can see it's been hurt while it was fighting, and on its leg as well. And this dinosaur has an action button. Let's try it out. And I think we've actually got another Baryonyx in here without battle damage. Look at that, totally different coloring. It's got that bright blue on its neck and its head. And it has a different action button as well. Let's see what happens when you press this. That is super neat. It's got a bunch of different sound effects, and it actually slides up and down to different positions, so you can have its mouth open or all the way closed. All right here we've got a Metriacanthosaurus. This one is like a bright yellow and green coloring, and it's got an action button on the top as well. You better watch out for this dinosaur. He looks a little hungry. Oh, look over here. We've got a massive Stegosaurus, and it has some action buttons as well. If you press this up here, then it actually swings its tail back and forth. You better watch out for those spikes. Those are some huge spikes. I think this dinosaur blends into the jungle really well. Got that brown bottom for the dirt on the jungle, and then you've got a green top to blend into the bushes and the trees. That is super cool. Ooh, I see a cool dinosaur right up top here. You better watch out. This is the Therizinosaurus. Look at those huge claws on its hands. Those would really hurt during a battle. And it's got this long neck leading up to its face. And with this toy, you can open and close its mouth. And this dinosaur has some pretty sinister looking coloring, don't you think? It's got that darker colors on the top and on its side. And then it's got that red all along its face and neck, and even on the tail too. I would be super scared to run into this dinosaur in the wild. Oh, look at here. We've got another giant Carnotaurus. And this one has a chomping action. Let's check that out again. That is super cool. We've got the movable tail and legs and those teeny tiny little arms up front. Let's keep going. We've got a lot more dinosaurs to go. All right, this one is an Allosaurus. Look at the coloring. It's like speckled with the white and the red on the top. And it's got this awesome action button. And some massive roars too. Here we go, we've got another super dangerous dinosaur, another Scorpius Rex. You better watch out. It's got all those teeth in the front again. With this toy, the jaw doesn't open, but it still has those massive claws and of course the quills on its tail. Right over here, this is another cool looking dinosaur. I'm actually not sure what kind of dinosaur this is. I think it's an herbivore. But let me know in the comments if you know what type of dinosaur this is. Let's see what action it does with this button right here. All right, so it's got some running. That is super cool. I bet this is a super fast dinosaur. All right, I think this is another Baryonyx. Look at those teeth. And this one is a green color and the brown on the top. That is super cool. Up next, we've got a giant Velociraptor. And this one is super adjustable. So this one is perfect for posing on a shelf. So look at all the limbs that you can move. You can bend its knees, its elbows, its shoulders, its neck. This one is super cool, super posable. All right, here we go. This is another Spinosaurus. This one is a bit smaller than the other Spinosauruses that we have in our collection, but I still love these dinosaurs. Here is a super bright dinosaur. This is another Dilophosaurus with those crazy frills in the front. And look how bright this whole dinosaur is. This is like neon coloring. That is super cool. And it's got this button on the side. I think it's out of batteries, but you could hear sound effects normally on it. Here is another Triceratops with those huge horns in the front. And this one actually has different coloring than the other Triceratops that we opened at the beginning. This is brown on the sides and it's got that speckled blue on the top and even on the very front as well. You better watch out. Don't get in the way of those horns. Oh, look at this. We've got a few miniature Indominus Rexes. Look at this really small one. It's still super detailed. You can see all the spikes on its back and on its neck. That's super cool. And then this Indominus Rex has got some battle damage on its side. And the tail actually adjusts the neck so you can move its neck up and down for that chomping action. Look at this. We've got a few more baby Dilophosauruses. Uh-oh, this one's missing one side of its frill. But look at the difference in the coloring between these two. These Dilophosauruses may be small, but you'll still want to stay out of their way. They're super dangerous. Look at these. I believe these are Gallimimuses. And they both have different coloring. One is a brown-orange color with the stripes on top, and the other is more of a blue-gray color. And instead of like actual stripes, it has just a more solid, darker blue on the top. And they're both quite adjustable. You can move the arms and the legs and the necks up and down. Oh, I see some of my favorite dinosaurs in here. Quite a few of them, actually. These are the mighty velociraptors. And look at all the different ones that we have. This one is like a darker green color and it's posed as if it's sneaking along. Look at that, sneaking along the ground. This one actually has a few different colors on it. It's got the brown on the top, it's got the tan on the sides, and a little bit of speckled white right on the sides there. And this one actually has a slashing action, so you can slash those claws back and forth. And then our final two raptors in the bin have even more colors. This is a brighter green velociraptor with the green striping on the top. And this one is like a yellow color, comes with the battle damage, and it's got the brown on the very top as well. These velociraptors are so cool. Oh, you know what? I think I actually missed one more velociraptor. Better watch out, this one's sneaking up on you. All right, just a few dinosaurs left. Here we've got a baby Triceratops, still with those huge horns on the front right there, and it comes with the battle damage on the side. And then we've got this unusual looking dinosaur. This is called a Minmi, and look at all that armor. I think that's armor, or those are spikes along its top, but I would not want to try to attack this dinosaur. That would probably hurt. And our last two dinosaurs of the bin. Over here, we've got a flying pteranodon. Look out, it's coming to get ya. And right here, we've got a baby T-Rex. Look at that. And it's got that chomping action as well. Welcome back to the Amazing Dinosaurs channel. Today we are checking out a bunch of dinosaurs from my huge dinosaur collection. And I've even got some brand new dinosaurs that we're gonna open up here today. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's get started opening these up. First with the Baryonyx Grim from Camp Cretaceous in the Primal Attack series. Let's open it up. Here we go, let's activate the batteries. And let's check this out. So this is differently colored from the other Baryonyxes that I have. Comes with sound effects, that's so cool. And it's brown on the bottom, and then right next to its eyes, it's all red to really make those eyes pop out. Let's see what kind of actions these have. If you move the tail, let's see, you can get a chomping action, and you can also move it side to side for a slashing action too. This is pretty cool. This is about the same size as the other Baryonyxes I have, but I like this one. I really like the dinosaur figures that you can control the head from the tail, because it looks so much more realistic that way. That is super cool. Next up, we've got the, I believe it's pronounced Coeloris. I might be wrong, but it's from the Extreme Damage series. Let's open it up and check it out. All right, this is a pretty dark dinosaur. It's got that dark green body. A dark red, it's like almost a brown red color. You can move the arms, you can move the legs, and you can twist the tail. Right over here on top is the DNA barcode that you can scan to learn more about the dinosaur. And if you press the button right here, here comes a battle action. That is really cool. I really like these battle damage dinosaurs because it can change the whole look of the dinosaur with just a click of the button. And you can adjust its mouth too. Next up, we've got this dinosaur. It's kind of hard to tell what kind of dinosaur it is, so let's open it up and see. All right, it is a Therizinosaurus, and look how brightly colored it is too. Get this cardboard out. I bet you remember this dinosaur from the new Jurassic World movie with those huge claws used for stabbing and slashing. And look at the coloring. It's got a nice blue color on the belly and chest, and on the back, From the tail all the way to the head, it is a super bright red. This might be one of the brightest dinosaurs that I have. And you can move the arms on this dinosaur, and I think the mouth too. Yep, there we go. Next up, from our brand new dinosaurs, we've got the Monolophosaurus from the Camp Cretaceous toy line. Let's open it up. So this is a smaller dinosaur, but it is super brightly colored with 2 different colors of green, just like the earlier dinosaur that we saw. So this is a bright green on the sides, and then a dark green right on the top, and on the belly, it's like a tan color. And with this dinosaur, it's got a tail action as well. When you pull down the tail, it gives a chomping action. And you can move the legs and the arms, and that's about it on this dinosaur. But this is pretty cool. And next up, from our brand new dinosaurs, we've got this Chaotic Cargo mini toy set. Let's open it up and see what dinosaurs are inside. I think that's pretty cool how they designed the box to look like a transport truck for the dinosaurs. Look at that, the whole thing, even the front. But let's check out these dinosaurs. First, we've got a minis version of Owen. Bingo! Look how small that is. But you can still adjust the arms and the legs. Next up, we've got this. I think this is the biggest dinosaur in the pack. This is a Stegosaurus, and it has the same coloring as the larger ones that I have actually, which we may see later on in this bin. Next up from the pack, we've got a special edition Allosaurus. And these are like pretty bendable too, which is interesting. Most of the larger toys are not very bendable like this. And you can even open and close the mouth too on this tiny little figure. And last of all, we've got this mini Velociraptor. And it looks like blue. That is so cool. Next up, we've got a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex with battle damage. Let's see that battle damage in action. That is super awesome. And all the joints are movable on this T-Rex as well. With the tail, the legs, even the ankles, the arms, and you can pose the head as well, which is really cool. Most of my T-Rexes can't keep their mouth open unless you're pressing the button. But this one, you can fully pose. We've got another giant T-Rex. This one also with a posable neck, and it's got movable legs, arms, and a tail as well. And this one has a button on the top of its head that you can press to make it roar. Look at all those teeth too. And this one is darker colored. It's like a gray on the side and then the dark brown on top. Way in the back here, we've got a giant Indominus Rex. This is even larger than the T-Rexes that we just saw. This is a light gray color throughout most of the body. And it's got that darker coloring right along its eyes right there. And this has a few actions as well. It's got a slashing action with its arms, and it's got a button on its tail that you can press for the jaw. That is so cool. Right up front here, we've got a giant, I think this is a Brachiosaurus. Check out this huge body, it's mostly green. It's got a little bit of red on the sides right there. And then on the bottom, it's like an orange tan color. This Brachiosaurus doesn't have any movable parts, but it is pretty squishy and bendy. You can see I can bend its neck back and forth like that. Right up here, we've got one of the newest Tyrannosaurus Rexes from the Jurassic World Dominion series. Check out the size of the face on this T-Rex right here. This is huge, and it's much darker than a lot of the T-Rexes I have. Look at that, it's like a black color right on the top, and then on the sides a dark brown, and then on the belly it's like a light tan color. And the legs are movable, the ankles, the arms, and with the tail, which I really like, you can wiggle the tail and it moves his head back and forth. Plus it's got a button on the tail for the roaring. Right up front here, we've got a little Carnotaurus. This one's different from most of the figures that I have, but you can see that there's an action button on its tail for chomping, just like that. Plus a button on top, when you press that, it blinks its eyes. Not many of my other dinosaur figures can do that. And you can move the legs and also the tiny little arms as well. Those things are super tiny. All right, another giant T-Rex with different coloring than all the rest. This T-Rex actually comes with a face cage that you can put on. And then when you press this action button on its back, it'll break free from it, which is super cool. Plus, when you twist the tail of this T-Rex, it actually stomps its legs up and down. Up next, we've got a bright green Dilophosaurus with a bright red frills right on its face. Here is a Jurassic World quiz question for you. Who did the Dilophosauruses chase after in the new Jurassic World Dominion movie? Comment below. All right, here is the full-size Stegosaurus. We saw that teeny tiny little one earlier in the video. This is the full-sized one, and I think they actually have the same coloring too. With the brown on the sides, the light tan on the belly, and then those green tips. That's super cool. And this Stegosaurus has 2 action buttons. You can see when you press down here, it moves its face. And when you press down on, which one is it? Here it is. When you press down on this one, this tail swings back and forth. It's spring-loaded, which is super awesome. Right up here, we've got a medium-sized Tyrannosaurus Rex with different coloring than all the rest. You can see that this one has more black stripes that are vertical on it. And you can see on this dinosaur, compared to the other T-Rexes, there's a lot more texture on these. You can't move the legs or the arms on this T-Rex, but you can still open and close the mouth. Right over here, we've got a normal-sized Carnotaurus, still with the same bright red clay coloring and the gray bottom, and it gets darker to like a brown right along the top of its body. On this Carnotaurus, you can wiggle the tail to move its head back and forth and up and down and all that. Plus, there's an action button on its tail to chomp its mouth. Check this out. This is another Carnotaurus, but it has totally different coloring. The pattern on this Carnotaurus is really interesting. It's almost like diamonds on its side. And it's got that bright orange face. You can't close the mouth, unfortunately, or move the legs or the arms or the tail. But I just really like how different this Carnotaurus looks. The color on this one is totally wild. Right over here, we've got a short but super long dinosaur that looks kind of like an alligator, really. This is the Sarcophagus, and it has tons of teeth in its mouth. And the coloring on this is super wild too. It's like a dark purple on the top. It's got the orange and red specks right on the side, and then a blue-gray color on the rest of the side and all along the bottom. And with this Sarcophagus, when you wiggle the tail, it controls his face. How cool is that? Right over here is one of the scariest dinosaurs from the second Jurassic World movie. It is the Scorpius Rex. This dinosaur is super dark along most of its body, other than its belly, which is a bright yellow color. And this dinosaur has 2 actions. It's got the arm slashing action. Whoop, wrong button. The arm slashing action. And the chomping action too. Right here, this is a huge dinosaur. We saw this one earlier. This is another Therizinosaurus, but this is from the Jurassic World toy line. And as you can already hear, it has tons of sound effects. Let's see what actions it has. If you wiggle the tail, you can control its torso. And there's a button right here on its tail that when you press that, it's got that chomping action. How cool. And like the earlier Therizinosaurus that we saw, this one also has the bright red right along its top. Up next, we've got a large-sized Velociraptor, and I think it's Velociraptor Blue. You can move the arms of this Velociraptor, the legs, you can twist and adjust the tail, but the mouth does not open or close on this Velociraptor. But I still like this Velociraptor figure because it is larger than most of the other figures that I have. Most of the other figures are probably around this size, I'd say. So this one is actually giant in comparison. Right over here on the side, I believe this is from the John Hammond collection, and I think this is a Pteranodon. And this has super flexible wings. It's like all made out of rubber, so it's super bendy. And I do like the coloring on this as well. It's got that brown over most of its body, and then that yellow coloring right along its wings. That's super cool. And look at the intricacy of the coloring on its face as well. Up next, we've got this mighty Ankylosaurus with those spikes on the side and armor right on the top. You do not want to mess with this one in the wild. And it's got an action as well. There's a button to swing its tail back and forth with a super heavy end. I bet that would knock out some dinosaurs. Right on top here, we've got a smaller dinosaur, but don't be fooled. This, I believe, is a juvenile Giganotosaurus. It's got like this red purple coloring right along its face. And then on the top, it's got black with the white striping as well. You can't move the arms or legs of this figure, but you can open and close the jaw. Next up, we've got another Stegosaurus, but this one has entirely different coloring. This is a blue-gray color, and you can see that there's some even darker coloring right along the top. And on the belly, as usual, is a tan color. This Stegosaurus has only one action button. When you press right here, it wiggles its tail back and forth with those spikes. But on this one, you can just move the face. There's no action button to control it. Right over here, we've got another giant Velociraptor. This one is super adjustable, and it is a super bright green color. Look at the ways that you can adjust each limb. With the ankles, with the knees, with the elbows, everything is adjustable on this Velociraptor. Right over here, we've got another Baryonyx with totally different coloring. Unlike the brand new Baryonyx that we saw earlier in the video, this one has a gray body along the sides and the bottom, and on the top of the body is a dark blue color with like a little bit of white, and then right on the neck is a super bright blue color. And this Baryonyx has an entirely different action as well. When you slide this back and forth, it does chomping. Check this out. This is the Concavinator. And look at that bright red coloring right along its back right there. Plus, it's got the purple right there, and especially all over its head. This dinosaur is also fully adjustable. You can adjust the arms and the legs and the tail as well. Plus, it's got some action buttons. See, there's one right here. Let's see what happens. There's the chomping action. And when you press down on this huge hump on its back, it swings its tail back and forth too. Here is another giant Tyrannosaurus Rex figure. And just like many of the other models that we have, you can't move the arms or the legs. But look at the intricacy of the texture along its body. Look at all that different coloring from the dark brown to the light brown. There's even like a little bit of, it seems like orange or yellow in there too. And with this model, you can of course open and close its mouth and see all those giant teeth. Here we've got a model Spinosaurus with a huge bright red spine, and the red goes all the way down to the end of its tail. The rest of its body is like a dark gray color, and it's got the yellow belly as usual. And on this model Spinosaurus, you can open and close its jaw. Here is another huge and brightly colored dinosaur. This is the mighty Carcharodontosaurus. Did you know that these dinosaurs have teeth that are up to 8 inches long each? Those are some huge teeth. This dinosaur is a tan yellow color along most of its body, but right along the top we can see these bright orange stripes that go all the way up to the dinosaur's face, where the nose is also the bright orange color. And there's an action button on this dinosaur where you can chomp. Here we've got another miniature Carnotaurus. This one actually has a broken horn right on the top. Do you remember seeing that in the new Jurassic World Dominion movie? I know I do. This dinosaur is a dark green color along most of its body, and it's got the orange pattern right along the top of its body as well. And it is fully posable. You can move the arms, the legs, the neck, and the jaw as well. Right over here, oh, dropped one of them. These are both Pachycephalosauruses. They both have different coloring. They got orange on both of them, but this one is a green color on its belly and side, and this one is kind of green, but it's more of a yellow green on its belly, and it's got those specks on the side as well. Plus, this figure actually has an action as well. When you pull on the tail, it has a hammering action. Oh, here's a different looking dinosaur. Look at those frills all along its neck. This is the Amargasaurus. This dinosaur is mostly brown along the sides and the bottom, but there's a lot of dark specks on the top. Plus, there's this bright red coloring all along its frills and its spine all the way to the bottom. And this dinosaur has some actions as well. First button moves its neck up and down, and the second button swings its tail. Here we've got a huge winged dinosaur. I remember seeing this one in the new Jurassic World Dominion movie. This is the Quetzalcoatlus. This dinosaur has some super bright coloring right next to its eyes and on the horn on its head and right along the tip of its beak. And the rest of its body is like a blue-gray color, except for its wings that are brown and a light tan. Plus there's an action button right up top. When you press it, it flaps its wings. We've still got some dinosaurs left. Here is the Rajasaurus with the brown coloring along its side and the dark blue right next to its neck and on those spines on its neck too. This Rajasaurus has an action. When you press down on the feet, it does a chomping action. That is super awesome. I think we've got some more velociraptors in here. Oh yeah, here's a few. And they're all super differently colored. This first one kind of looks like blue, but not quite. It has the blue stripe right there, and you can adjust the arms, and you can open and close the jaw. And notice, I think it has a little bit of feathers right on its elbow right there. That's super interesting. The next Velociraptor figure is a dark purple color with brown coloring on the top and along its head. How cool is that? And this last Velociraptor right here is tan and brown with a little bit of yellow specks. And this Velociraptor has an action as well. Its torso actually swings back and forth. It's spring-loaded, so it swings super fast. Let's see what other little dinosaurs we've got in here. All right, this first one is a baby Tyrannosaurus Rex, and it comes with a muzzle and a bandage as well. You can actually take the muzzle off, and you can open and close its mouth. This is a super bright green Tyrannosaurus Rex with that speckled striping along the top. This next figure is a teeny tiny Indominus Rex, but it's still pretty detailed. You can still see the texture of the skin, and it's got that brown coloring right along its spine right there. And this next dinosaur, I'm sure you recognize from the new Jurassic World movie. This is an Atrociraptor. It is mostly white, and it's got that brown stripes, kind of randomly all throughout its body. It's super cool and pretty scary looking. I think we've got a few more winged dinosaurs in here too. Let's check out this giant one first. This is actually another Quetzalcoatlus, but with entirely different coloring. See the purple that fades into like a dark maroon color, and the rest of its body is mostly this tan color. But like the other Quetzalcoatlus that we saw, it has super bright coloring on its face. Check that out. And of course, when you press this button right here, it'll flap its wings. How cool. This next winged dinosaur is a little one. This is a Dimorphodon. Most of its body and wings are this dark brown color, but you can see some orange stripes here on its head and on the bottom of its wings right here too. And this winged dinosaur is a Pteranodon with a dark blue color along most of its body and red detailing along the top. Plus, it has the battle damage right on its body right there. Next up, we've got this super weird looking dinosaur. This is the Tanystropheus. This dinosaur, I believe, resides in the ocean. And check out this super long neck. When you pull the tail, it swoops its neck down like that. That is super cool. And this is a bright dinosaur too. It's a bright blue color. Next up, we've got a dinosaur with some massive spikes. This is a Sauropelta, and it's bright red along the top and a dark brown along the bottom. And this dinosaur is actually spring-loaded, so you can twist the torso back and forth for that slashing action with its horns. Right up here, we've got a little Monolophosaurus figure. This dinosaur has a dark green coloring along the sides and bottom. It has that yellow coloring right along its back, and right on the front of its face, it's got that red coloring too. And with the tail, you can press up and down to open and close its mouth. We've got another super interesting colored dinosaur. This is the Protoceratops, and it's like a light purple color with the yellow striping pattern along the top of its body and along its face as well, right up front. Right up here, we've got a red Stygimoloch. This is a headbutting dinosaur, and when you pull the tail up and down, it has the headbutting action. How cool is that? Oh, I think we've got another baby T-Rex in here. This one is also a bright green color, and it actually has an action. When you pull the tail, you can control its jaw. Next up, we've got another dinosaur from the ocean. This is the Plesiosaurus. This dinosaur is mostly tan along its body, but it does have the dark blue coloring right along its back, all the way up to its face right here. And when you press the action button, you can actually make him move his fins. Next up, we've got this green colored Herrerasaurus, and it's actually got a little bit of blue along its top too, which is super interesting. This Herrerasaurus is fully adjustable. You can move the legs, the arms, the neck, and the jaw as well. So it is fully posable. Up next, we've got this bright green Dracorex. Look at how bright this dinosaur is. I think that is super cool. And look at that dark gray striping along its back. But don't forget those massive horns on its head. This Dracorex is fully adjustable. You can move the neck, you can move the arms, and the legs as well. But the jaw does not open and close, unfortunately. Here we have a teeny tiny little Gallimimus with 3 different colors on it. Got the orange tan color for most of its body, and then the blue and red striping all along its back, all the way up to its blue face. And our last dinosaur is another super scary looking Dilophosaurus. This dinosaur is mostly gray with darker gray specks along the top, and on those frills you've got that bright red coloring. Hello and welcome back to the Amazing Dinosaurs channel. Today we are checking out a huge bucket full of Camp Cretaceous, Jurassic World, and Jurassic Park figures. And I've even got some brand new dinosaurs here. Check this one out. This is the Scorpius Rex. Let's go ahead and open it up. The Great Scorpius Rex. Let's see what kind of actions this toy can do. Let's see. It's got a button up here. Let's see what this does. All right, so it's got a roaring action and then a second button. Let's see what that does. Oh, right on. It's a slashing action. So we've got a bite and roar action and the slashing action. Also, check out the spikes on the back of this dinosaur. I believe that these spikes are actually poisonous, so they can be used when they're fighting another dinosaur. And we've got 2 more brand new dinosaur toys to check out. Let's go ahead and open up the Owen Grady figure. All right, so here is Owen Grady. He is fully adjustable, can bend his legs, his knees, his arms, even his torso too. And it comes with this cool little stand that you can stand him on, so you can display him on your shelf. Just like that. All right, very cool. I'm gonna add him to my collection on the shelf. And our last brand new dinosaur, we got a good old Velociraptor. Let's see what it can do. So its arms are movable, and it looks like his torso twists back and forth too. That must be its slashing action. Look at those claws right there. All right, let's dig into our giant bin. First up, we've got this giant custom colored Indominus Rex. Look at the coloring on that. This is one of the brightest dinosaurs I have, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And it's got a button up here so you can slash with its claws. Next up, we've got, look at this. I think this is a hybrid T-Rex. So it looks mostly like a T-Rex, but then you notice it's got these spines on its back that you can actually push in, and then pressing the button right here, you can have it pop out, just like that. Over here, we've got one of my favorites, the T-Rex with battle damage. And this T-Rex is fully posable, so you can actually keep his mouth open. So if you want to like display him in a certain pose, you can do that with this T-Rex, which I really like. We've got some really brightly colored dinosaurs in here too. Look at this. This must be some type of hybrid Dilophosaurus. This is a super bright dinosaur. Look at that neon green and yellow coloring, and then that bright orange coloring on its back, and then these huge, I don't know if they're wings or frills or what they are. Those are really scary looking though. Over here is another giant T-Rex, and the coloring on this one is super realistic, and the texture too. Look how detailed that is. That looks like real skin. And then of course, some massive teeth. What dinosaur is this? Oh, I think I know what it is. It is a Spinosaurus, and this one has really cool coloring. Look at that blue on the top of its spine right there. I don't see any blue on the rest of its body, so that's pretty special. And it's got some green eyes, look at that. And some huge, nasty teeth in its mouth. Wow, this is a huge, scary dinosaur. And the claws too, look at those claws. Those are ginormous. Let's keep digging. Let's go with this one right here. Oh, this is a loud dinosaur. This is a Carnotaurus, and he's ready for a fight. Check out those horns on the top of its head, and it's even got like tiny little spikes all along its back too. I've got a question for you. Who do you think would win in a fight? A T-Rex, like this guy, or a Carnotaurus? Comment below, who do you think would win? And on this T-Rex too, it's got some unique functions. So first, you can pose him like that, and then when you hit the tail, he slams downward with his jaws as if he's about to bite something. That is amazing. I really like the coloring on this. Oh, what's that we have here? I actually don't know what kind of dinosaur this is. Do you know what kind? Comment below and let me know. This is a super brightly colored one though. It might be a hybrid of some sort maybe. I'm not sure. Look at that red on its face though. And the yellow stripes. That is really amazing. All right, another T-Rex, but this one is red. That's really cool. This is a much brighter T-Rex than the other ones we have, and it's still got those giant teeth. You better watch out. Here's an interesting looking dinosaur. This is a Sarcophagus. It looks kind of like an alligator, don't you think? It's got a huge mouth full of teeth. Here's another bright dinosaur. This looks like it's a hybrid between maybe a Stegosaurus and a Triceratops. What do you think? Ooh, look at that gold along its spine and the gold on the horns too, and a little bit of battle damage. Let's keep digging for some big dinosaurs. I think I got a few more huge dinosaurs in here. Let's see. Oh, here's a big one. All right, a Stegosaurus. Really cool coloring with the green and the brown, so it helps camouflage it into the jungle. And it's got an action button too. You can see there's a button up here, and when you press that, it swings its mighty spikes on its tail back and forth. You better stay out of the way. Ooh, look at this. We've got a huge winged dinosaur right here. And look at the realism with its coloring too. And on its face too. Look at all that yellow and the orange mixed in with the brown. That is a super detailed face. And it's even got some little teeth in its mouth too. And right over here, we've got a Pachycephalosaurus. Wow, look at this. And look at the super hard shell on its head to protect it for when it's headbutting people. Look at this one. This one looks a little friendly, don't you think? This is an Amargasaurus, and it's got 2 action buttons. The first one moves its neck up and down, and the second action button moves its tail. That is cool. I really like the spines all along its back, and look at that orange too. That is really neat. All right, check this out. We've got a little Indominus Rex right here, and it comes with the battle damage as well that you can open and close. I think this must be a hybrid, maybe a T-Rex of some type. Maybe it's a hybrid with a Dilophosaurus, because it's got those winged frill things in the front. But this is a super bright T-Rex. And when you move its tail, it can open and close its mouth. And we've got another super bright dinosaur. I think this is a Spinosaurus, but the coloring is obviously different than a normal Spinosaurus. It's mostly blue with the battle damage on the side, and it's got that super bright red spine with the black stripes. All right, next up, we've got a Parasaurolophus. Did you know that these dinosaurs might have been able to breathe fire? We're not entirely sure, but can you imagine if these things were able to spit fire? That's amazing. This is the Majungasaurus. Look at all those spikes everywhere. It's bumpy all along its back. It's got these things underneath its neck as well. All right, check out this Ankylosaurus. And look at that action move right there too. I bet it could defend really well against a Velociraptor. Look at that. Oh no, he's fighting him. And he's got that huge protective shell all along the top and those spikes on the side too. This is the Ceots micororum. Look at those rows of teeth. It's even got an extra row of just like one giant tooth right there. I bet that helps it out while it's eating. And look at all these spikes along its back as well. You better watch out for this dinosaur in the wild. Next up, we've got a Pentaceratops. Look at those 5 horns on the front. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5. This is the Edmontosaurus. Did you know that these dinosaurs could walk on either all 4 legs or just 2? Check this out. This is a Baryonyx. It's got an action button on its back. Let's see what that does. Cool, it comes with sound effects too. Let's play that again. And over here, we've got another Sarcophagus. Check this out. This one has different coloring though. You can see it's got purple and then the orange and red speckles on the side, and then the blue body. And then once again, this huge mouth full of teeth. And here is a tiny little Triceratops. It's still got those huge horns in the front though. You don't want to mess with those. And this dinosaur has the battle damage as well. All right, we've got another Pachycephalosaurus. And just like the other one, it's got that super hard shell of a head so it can ram into other dinosaurs. And over here, we've got some of my favorite dinosaurs, the Velociraptors. Got a yellow one right here, very adjustable, its mouth opens and closes. And then we've got a brown one as well. Its mouth opens and closes as well. These are really cool dinosaurs, but I wouldn't want to meet them in the wild, that's for sure. We've got some more big dinosaurs in here. Check out this huge Allosaurus. That is a super ferocious looking dinosaur, and we've actually got another one right here. And this one has a different action button. You can slide it up and down. And it's got a bunch of different roar sound effects for it. And look at those teeth and the horns too. This is a super mean looking dinosaur. And over here, we've got, well, I'm not sure what kind of dinosaur this is actually. It looks kind of like a Carnotaurus because it's got those horns, but the rest of its body doesn't look quite like a Carnotaurus. Let me know in the comments, do you know what kind of dinosaur this is? And this dinosaur actually has battle damage too, so you can take off parts and reveal its bones underneath. That is super cool. All right, we're nearing the end here, but we got a few more. This is a Stygimoloch, and it's got that hard head so it can headbutt other dinosaurs, but it's also got these horns up top for defense as well. Better watch out, here is another Velociraptor. Everyone look out. Oh no. Let's see. Oh, here is our last land dinosaur of the bin. This is a Herrerasaurus. Look at that long mouth with all those teeth. And this dinosaur has the battle damage too. That is amazing. All right, here are our final 3 dinosaurs of this giant haul. First off, we've got a Pteranodon. Look at that coloring on its wings, and there's a button that you can press to make it flap its wings. Then we've also got a Dimorphodon. Look at those bright orange and red colored wings on the bottom. And finally, we've got this. I think it's a Dimorphodon, but I'm not actually sure. Comment below if you know what type of dinosaur this is. Want to see more dino videos? Click the subscribe button now.